Welcome to Downtown Bridal's Vendor Collective, where we bring you event professionals of the Delmarva Eastern Shore. They are experts in their field, and they're a key part of how we're elevating our upcoming events at Downtown Bridal. When we look for partners to collaborate with, we look for two things: excellence in their craft and real value for our clients. So today I am at the Cambria Hotel in Ocean City with Marge Steele. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So we had a beautiful tour of the facility. It's an ideal location, and I bet that's one of the biggest draws.
Well, it's not only ideal, but it's very unique. Here in Ocean City, we are completely bayfront with views and spectacular sunsets that, it could just add to the experience. But the great part about it, I think, is our location. It's convenient to all things Ocean City, from the iconic boardwalk and beach in walking distance. We have all, the Thrasher's fries, the Fisher's popcorn, the amusements, local bars and restaurants in walking distance. And it just makes it a great venue for a destination wedding where guests can come in from all over, park their cars, and never have to move them again. They, experience the two on-site full-service restaurants that we have here. One is Rooftop Spain Wine Bar, which is the hot spot in Ocean City right now, and lots of opportunities there for events, whether it's welcome parties and rehearsal dinners, brunch the next day, after parties, options there on the rooftop. And then we have options at our lobby bar and restaurant called The View. The same exact events can be, hosted there as well. So just a lot of things under one roof.
Oh, absolutely. And you're just immersed in the ocean feel. Your decor gives us that flair. Just being surrounded by water. I mean, we're right here at the inlet, so you're right. You have 360 view, whichever way you look. So it's just wonderful immersion into that.
If you're looking for the beach vibe, this is it.
But yet you have a unique set of land that you have those lawns, and to be able to set up tents, correct?
So we're situated between two very large bayfront lawn spaces. On the south lawn, we've built a gazebo that we do wedding ceremonies, all waterfront, with this amazing backdrop. And it's always fun, as I mentioned, that the boat activity behind the scenes, and it just gives guests who may have already had been to Ocean City and been beachfront, give them this opportunity to experience the bayfront. And then we also have our north lawn, which we do tented bayfront wedding receptions and cocktail hours. And then for those who want to be inside, we have a beautiful ballroom that holds about up to 85 guests. Our tented receptions hold up to 225.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've got something for everyone.
And when we walked between the lawns on the beautiful boardwalk, is that what you're calling it? On the bulk front there, I didn't notice, was there tie-ups? Someone could bring a boat up to it?
We do not have any docking opportunities here. The channel is so narrow, but that's what makes it so breathtaking.
Right,
yeah, as the boats come by, they're so close that you can talk to the captains and almost reach out and touch the boats. They're that close.
So we're in a hotel, but being here in the ballroom, it's not a classic four-wall ballroom with your crystal chandeliers. It is definitely that Ocean City feel, very intimate, which is very nice for me, is having a change of things. Wonderful backup option. So technically, how many ceremony sites are we looking at? We have the ballroom, the lawn.
So basically, we have the indoor and the outdoor option. We have the ceremony that can be outdoors on the south lawn under the gazebo, or if brides and grooms prefer to do their wedding at a church or their ceremony at a church, or the beach is a block and a half away. They are able to do whatever their vision is for their ceremony. And then here we have an indoor option in our ballroom, and then we have the outdoor option on our north lawn under the tent.
And being where you are and all the places you have in your facility, you can accommodate a whole entire weekend event.
Absolutely. Yeah, the guests can check in, and we can host a welcome party for those folks after the rehearsal dinner that they might want to have either at the View, in the ballroom, up at Spain, or elsewhere if they prefer, and then come back here for the welcome party. And then we can do the ceremony, the reception. We can host the after party at the View restaurant and bar, or at the Spain wine bar, or the post-wedding brunch breakfast the next day as guests are kind of checking in or checking out, and kind of flowing out and getting together just to talk about the night before and all the the fun times that they had. So lots of opportunities, again, just all under one roof.
So that is a lot of opportunities. I assume you have a very talented coordinator to lay out options and coordinate that.
We have a great team. Our banquet department and banquet manager here do a fantastic job. All of our food and beverage is done here on site. And then we have the sales coordinator and myself. We pay attention to every single detail that needs to take place to lead up to a successful wedding day. I will mention too that for a tented lawn event, we work with a very reputable tent rental company who does all the tenting events for the town of Ocean City, from Springfest and Sunfest and White Marlin Open and everything. So they do a fantastic job. They're super price competitive. They rent the outdoor furniture, the lighting. You can get as simplistic or as fancy as you want. Farm tables, every kind of chair, linen, everything. So I work in coordination with them to make sure, again, that their vision is brought to light. So,
and that's what it's all about, is that vision. Yeah. So your hotel, you have rooms. Talk to me about what those options are.
Of course, we do discounted wedding room blocks, and we have a couple of different room types for, everyone wants something different. We have double queen with a sofa bed that sleeps up to 6 guests. We have a king with a sofa bed up to 4. We have adjoining rooms that can accommodate families that need to be close together. And what we do is we put an assortment of those room types into your courtesy room block. We send the bride a booking link, an online booking link, and a QR code in case they have printed materials that they're sending out, or their website. And they just communicate that out to their guests. Their guests make their reservations directly into the block. They don't have to get involved at all. I can send them the list of who's made reservations at any time. And then 30 days prior to their wedding, we just release any unreserved rooms back into hotel inventory. And there's no obligation or penalty. We just do that as a courtesy for our bride and groom families that are going to be that we're going to be hosting here.
And you'll do that even if they're not doing the wedding here, correct?
Absolutely. We work with a lot of venues around town that refer us that don't have guest rooms. So it's a great partnership. We have lots of partnerships with transportation companies for shuttles and buses, whatever you might need to transport guests back and forth.
Yeah, much more convenient than each person driving themselves. Especially depending on the time of year at the Ocean City. But I love the option that you can basically do it anywhere, and that you have 2 restaurants, one on the bottom level, one on the top level, but you still have all the views.
Yeah, and the nice thing too is in between all of the wedding events that are taking place for the weekend, we have amazing amenities here besides the bars and restaurants. We have a beautiful indoor pool and jacuzzi that's open year-round. We have an outdoor pool that's right on the water, and it's all open air. We have garage doors that you can go in and out of the indoor pool and the outdoor pool. We have an arcade for all the big kids and the little kids.
Big kids for sure.
And we have the fitness center that is, again, all waterfront and amazing. We have laundry services. We have just we have a market that sells, everything from grab and go breakfast sandwiches to bottles of wine, and so again, you just everything you need is right here.
What do you feel is the ideal size for this facility?
So ideal for the ballroom. I like to keep it to 85 guests. Once you put the dance floor and the bar and the DJ and all the gift tables and all of that. So that's what I like to keep it under. I find that our average seems to be between 75 and 85 in the ballroom. And then on the lawn, obviously, depending on the number of guests you're anticipating, we would be ordering a tent that would accommodate that number. And we've had weddings up to 225 out there.
So your backup plan for a ceremony, if we have inclement weather, is not to just come into the ballroom. You can still do it out in the tent.
Most of our brides and grooms prefer to do everything outdoors if they can, and we make that determination, early enough that we can pivot and, set the tent up with, the ceremony being in the center on the dance floor, and the guests will be surrounding, and it works out really well. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about that, but you have to plan for it.
You do. You have to have that backup plan. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with having the restaurants here, the catering is in-house. Do you have a preferred list of vendors other than the tent rental company?
Yes, we do. We work with, there's a whole host of wedding planners and day of coordinators in this market, and we work with all of them. I mean,
but you're not restricted.
We're not restricted to any vendors at all. We do refer a lot of vendors, based on our experiences with them here. So yeah, between the DJ and the bakeries for their cake and desserts, the like I said, the officiant, the wedding coordinators, so we're not restricted at all.
Is there anything that the bride is, if she's more into a DIY type of bride, is she able to bring her table settings or any of her bakery items?
Absolutely, yeah. So we actually encourage the decor, either, if they're not working with a vendor that's providing florals or decor, we encourage that. We have, a limited amount of items that, centerpieces and things here that they can use and kind of, embellish. But we encourage that for sure. The wedding that was here this weekend, they had a vision for their centerpieces, and they did all of that. So you do one. You won't do more than one a day. What is their timeline for what's available for that? So we are completely flexible. We have the ballroom available and ready to go the entire day, so they can start and end. We'd like to, end just because we are a hotel. We like to make sure that the music is kind of down by 11:30, but they can start it, end it anytime they want, and they have access to the ballroom. If we don't have an event the night before, they're more than welcome to come in the night before and decorate and, do what they need to do. Yeah.
So what is the normal booking process? Does someone come do a tour? Do you have open houses? Where would they reach out to someone?
So I would be the main contact. I'm the director of sales here for the Cambria Oceanfront Bayfront Hotel, and I typically, set up an initial phone call just to let them know what options we have here if they're not familiar with the property. Kind of make sure that we're a good fit for what their vision is. I might do a preliminary proposal and send them some, our current catering menus that we have to offer, which can be customized. What we have are just options that, they can certainly, we're very flexible with how they want to change them up. And then if they'd would like to move forward with a site visit, obviously I make myself available around their schedule, usually on weekends because people are coming in and visiting on the weekends here, so I'm totally open to that. I have had booking windows from 2 years out. I mean, I'm doing proposals in 2028 right now, and then we just actually I signed on Saturday a wedding for this September. So,
Yep,
you know,
they're all over the place.
we're all over the place, and we can, you know, move with what their timeline is and get it done for them.
And is it I assume, a deposit of what percentage?
Yeah, so, you know, for each of the venue sites, we have a rental, and for a deposit, we take 50% of that. And then there's a food and beverage minimum based on the number of guests that they're anticipating, and we take that 30% as a deposit. So, and then there's a cancellation kind of scale based on, you know, hopefully they won't be canceling, but, you know, obviously, yep, it happens.
With all the options that you have here, do you have a package that would include a lot of it, or is everything a la carte?
So from a food and beverage standpoint, meaning, you know, what if they decide to do a buffet or plate it and whatever bar options, we have a la carte options for that. And then we also have wedding package options that include, you know, all inclusive. You know, it would be, you select these past hors d'oeuvres, these placed hors d'oeuvres, these entrees, these sides, these desserts, this bar package, whether it's an open bar for 4 hours or just beer and wine or on consumption. When we have options available for everybody's budget, everybody's need, want. And then in terms of, we don't package like the florals or the, you know, wedding planner. I mean, we refer those, but we work very closely with all of them.
Do any of your packages say, oh, we will include the rehearsal dinner and the morning after, as well as the ceremony and reception?
Yeah, I mean, we do have promotions from time to time too, that, you know, if you do book your ceremony and reception here, you know, we can give you a discount or we give, you know, a complimentary drink for your guests or whatever it might be for a welcome party or a rehearsal dinner. So, yeah.
Is there anything that you think that we need to know that we may not have touched upon?
If you are a bride and groom that are looking for, first, a unique experience and a very affordable, competitively priced option, a one-stop shop where, you know, we can do the hotel rooms and we can do soup to nuts, everything in terms of, you know, from the time you walk in the door to the time your guests leave, and conveniently located to everything that's Ocean City. I would say you need to take a look at the Cambria.
Thank you for joining us. And to see more about this amazing vendor and their products or services, please visit our webpage, downtownbridalmd.com, and go to the Vendor Collective page.